Well, much of Europe is an economic basket case at the moment. China is also causing concern, not because it's heading for European-style recession, far from it. The question is, though, how long can China's phenomenal pace of economic growth, which Australia is very dependent on, continue? A man who has a better idea than most is Cao Yuanzheng, who's the chief economist at China's biggest privately owned bank, the Bank of China, and I spoke with him this afternoon in Sydney. Cao Yuanzheng, welcome to the program.
Yeah, thank you.
The question everyone in Australia wants an answer to, because our economy is so dependent on the Chinese economy, is China going to have a hard economic landing or a soft economic landing? What are your thoughts?
This year, we think it is a soft landing. So economic growth rate is over 8%, I believe.
GDP figures are coming out tomorrow. What are you expecting there?
So you can see China is during the process of soft landing. So the GDP growth rate declining for 7 quarters. And last quarter maybe is the end of this declining. We estimate that last quarter is 7.6. But from this quarter, a little bit of recovery. So averagely annual rate is about 8.
What, in your view, is a sustainable level of economic growth in China?
Now China is in a changing period. Before, last 33 years, China witnessed high economic growth rate by double digit. During this process, there are 2 features I should mention. Number 1, this is the industrialization. So the second industries, I mean the manufacturers, become the major force of the economic growth. Number 2, for this kind of manufacturers, is exported oriented. So after the financial crisis, you can see the export cannot last longer. So China try to restructure its structure from export oriented into a domestic consumption-based economic growth rate. Now it is changing.
And you're confident that China can switch from an export-based economy to a domestic consumption-based economy without a huge fall in gross domestic product?
Yes. In the last 2 years, the personal income increased over 13%. So you can see that is the strong sign, strong signal to support my view.
If the GDP figure tomorrow is well under 8%, and in fact a survey of 40 economists by Bloomberg is predicting it will be, how do you think the Chinese government will need to respond to that?
We think, according to the Chinese experiences, reform is the energy for the economic growth rate. So we urge the government to introduce more reform measures, reform programs for this economy, such like, marketization of interest rate, more open to the outside of the world by capital account, and if introduce some stimulation program, please, to stimulate the consumption.
Australia's Treasurer Wayne Swan is in Beijing today for talks about the Australian dollar becoming the 3rd currency directly convertible to the yuan. Last month a direct deal was signed involving the yuan and the yen, and the yuan also trades directly with the US dollar. How important are those agreements in internationalising China's currency?
After the Asia financial crisis, the Asia people find that there is a basic problem within this region. Although they trade with each other and the internal trade is very large, however, the settlement, the pricing is outside of this region, that is US dollars. So that is the mismatch of the currency. So that's why after the Asia financial crisis, this region tried to their best to introduce what we call local currency. And the renminbi is one of the local currency. And as you know, renminbi now is stable. So it is easy for the settlement and the pricing. And China is a large country for other countries for export. So that's why renminbi is international used, majorly by treaty.
When would you see direct trading with the Australian dollar starting?
I hope this year.
All right. Cao Yuanzheng, thank you very much for your time.
Yeah, thank you.